Okay, we've got about 11 minutes 40, another 2 6-minute clips basically. Low dynamics, high resolution, 1 notch over on the right hand side. It's morning, it's probably about 9:15 now, around the Ides of August. And so anyway, Rossi was, chewing into me rectal sphincter the other day, I think, about implying that I've got dud seed sort of thing, and I was holding back, chafing it a bit to say, well, I've been here before, mate. This is I was almost accused by Ziggy of sending him dud glid seeds, and then about 4 months later it was emailing me saying, I've hundreds and hundreds of seeds have germinated, and I thought. I won't say what I really thought. It was sort of like a you prat sort of situation, but it was with darker language. Would I go to all that expense to send dud seeds? Registering and all that sort of stuff. Making sure that it's all packaged just to send you dud seeds. I mean, when I'm struggling in Abertland, against the cost of living and everything else, And, God, it looks absolutely fantastic in the monitor. I hope it's picking it all up. I know, it's picking up the mist to a certain extent, but maybe I need to go to 4K to get it. There's sort of this other sort of mist, zonal misting sort of thing. And you've got this general misting, which it seems to be picking up, but there's also this other finer stuff or whatever that it doesn't seem to be picking up. Maybe you only get that in 4K, or I can't see it because I'm not watching it through a big screen at the moment. But there's this old, sort of playground thing, and my son and his son and everyone else, occasionally, you went through years of your life, like you knew this thing like the back of your hand sort of thing for a few years, and then I haven't been here for nearly 15 years, I suppose, it seems like, half a lifetime ago you haven't been up here, but I reckon it's like riding a bike. You go up there and you look around and you see old things that still haven't changed, other things you probably wouldn't be missing. But along here, in this sort of open patch, years ago, and occasionally along the sandy areas, you'd find, what we call now hookery, I suppose. But whether it's there now, I don't know, but probably going to make a liar out of me. But I think I do actually have old VHS stuff. I was filming sort of thing, and because I did like a couple of films at that site near the back of my place, about 2 seasons worth. Before that, the woman, the exception to the rule, sprayed it, with the words to the other bloke that there was doing, the professional there. Said to her, well, are they native? Sort of thing. That's the quote basically that she gave him. And it's all, yes, lady, they're natives. I mean, why are you here if you haven't done any bloody reading? And that's a nice weed. The land of the CP, and you don't know that CPs are bloody natives. It's like killing off Red Indians because you didn't know they were native if you were in America. If you transferred it over from a plant kingdom to an animal kingdom or something. A humankind. But kids play around with things. There was something else here years ago near this bench. But you got this sort of like this sort of more silty, sandy soil, and you can see all this other stuff that grows up with it. And there's one of our weeds. Another of the other type of weed. But as I said, wherever there's CPs, you seem to get these other type of weeds, which is why I'm working on these things, especially this thing. And that produces a lovely taproot, that does. And then you've got these other things here like that. So, which some forms of those I think are in my Serpentine book. Some relations to those things. And these things here are in my Robert Richard Brooks Serpentine book. I think it's the second book he did. I did lots of papers, of course, but I think it's the second major. It's supposed to be the first English language work where it takes all the Russian, Swedish works, of course, because they've got all those serpentine areas and tin mines and things like that. You've got Swedish tin and all that sort of stuff. All into one English language work. So it takes all the northern, western, eastern sort of language world and condenses it all down into English, basically. So anyway, used to have the smattering of things here. I don't know if I'm going to spot them very quickly while I'm just chatting away like this, because by rights, if they're hookery eyes, they should still be in their basal rows. They only put like an inch to 2 inches at best if they're true hookery eyes, you see. I refrained from when Andy put up a comment about hookery eye still in its basal rosette or something. I'm thinking, well, yeah, if it's a hookery, it should spend most of its life as the basal rosette. That's why it's dross or hookery eye. But I didn't want to chew into his arsehole because I'd just been chewed into by Rossi. I think Rossi's got a bit grim down there on the South Island. But I've got to admit, I've got 5 more minutes. Might start a new clip, I think.